advanced, and this game was played in the 2015 Sinquefield Cup. With the black pieces, we have our favorite streamer, the second ranked player in the world. We have Hikaru Nakamura, and with the white pieces, we have the current winner of 2025 Sinquefield Cup. We have Wesley So, also world number 7 after that win. He's a spectacular player, really humble guy, and plays, I mean, an amazing blitz player. I think world number 4 in blitz. So this game is going to be really amazing. So without further ado, let's start with this game. Here I've turned the board upside down because I think this is going to be the best experience if you see it from the perspective of the black pieces. So let's just start the game. Let's not keep the players waiting. Here d4 was played by Wesley. We have knight to f6, going for the Indian game, c3, g6, and now just going for knight to c3, bishop g7. This is the king's Indian defense. This is Hikaru's favorite opening. He used to play this a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean it a lot. Even he plays it right now, but not that much. e4, and now just d6, knight to f3, castles, and now bishop to e2. We have e5 now. This is the main line. There is no discrepancies here. Castles, knight to c6, d5, attacking the knight. Knight goes to e7. We have knight to e1, just trying to just push f4 and then get the knight into the game. But here just knight to d7. Now this is very nice. I mean, really interesting that Hikaru has something else prepped in this mind, in his mind, and definitely in his preparation. Here just f3, not going for f4. That's very interesting, because here f5 was played, but now just comes this bishop to e3, and now just f4. So Hikaru has definitely taken charge, and white has a very nice advanced pawn chain. And let's see what Wesley has, how Wesley deals with this, because Wesley goes for a bishop to f2, and now we have g5. And with this g5, Hikaru is definitely saying that he's ready to push on the king side, and he doesn't care if he has castle towards the king side. He's ready to push those pawns, and he is ready to start an attack. And knight to d3 now, but just knight to g6, and here Wesley has to be really careful. How does he approach this position? Because normally the thing is, once you see these kinds of position with the white pieces, that someone is trying to attack towards the king side, normally you're not that much worried, because you know that you can start some sort of counter attack, and that's what you should do with the white pieces. Because when you're with the white pieces, attacking is like something that should come naturally. And I think with a move like b4, it makes much more sense, because after h5, now you play c5, d captures, b captures, and you have a very nice center. You have the knight supporting it, rooks can get into the game, queen you can double up, and maybe you can have some sort of an attack going towards the central or towards the queen side. So that would have been a really nice option, and but only if if Hikaru had allowed something like this. But again, it could have gone either way. But again, this is what best that Wesley had in this position. But in this position, after knight to g6, we have c5 immediately. And does c5 immediately work or not? Well, let's just see, because knight to f6 was played, rook to c1, and after rook to f7, here king to h1. A very nice prophylactic move, but prophylactic move also comes with a cost. It comes with a tempo. So is this was the correct way to give away a tempo by Wesley or not? Well, we'll have to see. Here h5, now we have c captures. Now just c captures, knight to b5, now putting some pressure here and also here. But now just comes this a6, pushing the knight back. We have knight to a3 and b5, and now that knight is not that really, it's out of the game basically for the rest of the game. Or either you waste 2 tempos and get it back into the game. But now just rook to c6 was played, now putting some external pressure, and also going for maybe saying that I'm just going to triple up here against the queen side. And let's see what you have to do with this. Hikaru ignores Wesley completely. He goes for g4, and g4 is a very beautiful move, saying that I'm ready to push towards the king side. Do you have the right defense order to be able to stop this attack? Here queen to c2, Wesley just completely ignores him. And I told you early, starting that with the central amazing pawns would have been really nice for Wesley, but now pushing it is just a bit too much, because I think Hikaru is too much in his preparation to be able to care about what Wesley is doing towards the queen side, because he doesn't have a right plan here to try to go for anything in this position. Queen to f8 was played, and just look at this. I mean, this is this is something that's definitely preparation. I mean, if it's not preparation, then I cannot believe someone would actually try to go for this in a live game. This is absolutely crazy. A rook to c1 was played. Now you can see tripling up here, and you have to be very careful. So bishop to d7 was played, attacking the rook. And the best way to go about this position, what's that for white? It took me such a long time to find this move. I mean, this is such an insane move. I mean, you don't even think of this move, and it's not moving the rook to b6, it's not moving the rook to c7, it's not even moving the rook back. But the move that you want to find in this position, that Engine absolutely loves, is knight to b1. Who would think of this move in like this. Who would think of just moving the knight back when everything towards your king side is happening? There could be pawn captures, there could be h4, there could be some knight sacrifices, but what you want to play is just knight to b1. Just a very calm move. You want to get the knight into the game, so you just waste two tempos while your opponent attacks you towards the king side. Knight to b1. And here we have bishop caps on c6, just giving up the exchange. But after d captures rook to c8, now you can understand that pass pawn is very, very strong. So I mean, maybe just capturing it wasn't the best way. But after knight to b4, you play a5, attacking the knight, knight to d5, and that knight is amazing. That pass pawn is amazing. White is loving his position right now, and in Wesley's hands, most likely it would be winning, because now, as it was looking really, really dangerous with this structure, it's looking very, very silly now, to be honest. So here, after a move like b4, you play knight to d2, and yeah, the position is very, very fine, and I think Wesley would be able to win this. But here, after bishop to d7, we have rook back to c7, and it feels like such a natural move. That's what you want to play, but it's not, because here bishop to h6, and now comes bishop back to e1, but now just comes h4, and now you can see that there are some attacks brewing. And here in this position, again, the best move in this position to try and just tackle this attack was h3. And when you see it, it makes sense, because if you push it now, then with this structure and the pawns being there, it makes much more sense, because then you can never actually push for anything here towards the king side, and queen side is all, well, you have to focus on and then get all these pieces there again. And here, after a move like g captures, like now you play just bishop captures, rook to g7 now. But after knight to b1, you just play this knight to h and knight to b1 with the idea of getting it back into the game. That's the same idea. Here just bishop caps on h4, now sacrificing a pawn. But after this this very, very weird swindle, you can understand you have a rook very nicely here, and somewhere along the line, you're going to get the knights into the game and try to maybe just maneuver the knights to be able to somewhere just sacrifice, or somewhere just trade to open up the lines, and maybe you can start some sort of an attack. But you can never move the bishop. That's what you have to understand. Whenever you move the bishop, rook captures, and all of your attack is failing. Your attack is existing simply because of the fact that there's a rook on g7 that is facing towards the king side of white. So that's the whole idea. And here, even if you go for rook to b7, because your knight was under attack, most likely the game is going to continue with some sort of knight maneuver or something here in this position. But it's still very unclear as to what's going to happen. But still, that was the best, that was the absolute best Wesley had in this position. But after h4, he goes for f captures, and you can never take, because that's the entire position, that once you take, now every piece is just jumping in, and you don't have enough defense to be able to tackle with all the pieces. So here just comes f3, and f3 is such a beautiful move. It's such a strong move in this position. When you see it, it just makes a lot of sense. Here just g captures was played, and maybe you think you're out of the shadows now, but in this position, Tal gets inside Hikaru's mind, and he goes for knight captures on e4. That's a beautiful sacrifice. The trouble with this position is that after knight captures, there is nothing you can do. If you go for f captures, here in this position, then just comes rook to f1 check, king to g2, and after bishop to e3, you can just resign here, because after bishop caps on f1, you play this h3 check, and after king to h1, unfortunately, this would be checkmate if you go there. But if you capture the pawn here, try to go for king caps on h3, then it's a really brutal checkmate. Queen to f3 check, bishop to g3, and now this bishop captures on g4 with a very nice checkmate. You cannot go here because knight covers that square. You cannot go here because queen covers that square, and that would be very bad. But here in this position, after rook to d1 was played, just he just went all over the rails. He goes for another Tal move. He goes for rook captures on f3, and there is nothing you can do in this position. Here in this position, if you dare to even capture the rook, bishop captures, then just queen captures, and let's say first you move the king, you don't go for the best defense, then unfortunately you're just getting checkmated. After bishop to e3 check, bishop blocks, knight captures, and after knight captures, now you go for this knight to f4. Now this is checkmate whatever you do. So let's say you try to run away, king to f1, queen to g2 check, king to e1, and queen to g1 would be a very nice checkmate with knight controlling all of these squares, and there is no square you could run off to because bishop is covering this entire thing. So that would be a very sad way to go. But if you go for queen to g2 blocking, then comes this bishop caps on g4, and now you cannot even capture. If you capture, then just bishop captures, and after this, I just pick up the rook, and it's just completely losing no matter what you do in this position. And there is nothing in this position that you can do. A rook caps on d7 was tried, but now just comes this rook to f1 check, and now moving it away. If you capture, then just queen gets into, and you're just getting checkmated basically. So here just bishop to e3 now, and now how do you do anything in this position? Only move that was tried, bishop to g3 here to try and just survive this attack, but now comes h captures, rook captures on f1, and now just comes this beautiful knight to h4 check and king has no squares. I mean, for how are you getting out of this? You don't even have this square, you don't even have this. If you go there, then if you go there, or even if you try to go there, then g2 is checkmate. That's diabolical, man. Come on, that's so bad. So here king to h3 was played, but queen to h6 now, and now just comes g5 here to try and survive the attack. But now comes this knight captures on g5, king moves forward, we have knight h to f3. But now in this position here, knight to f2 was played, but another beautiful blow. We have queen to h4 check, just defended by this knight, and knights are defending each other. There is no way white king could go. King to f5 was tried, but just rook to f8 check, king to g6, rook to f6 check, sacrificing even the rook. If you sacrifice the knight, you sacrifice one rook, now you're sacrificing the third rook. King captures, and here just knight to e4 check, and now this is just insane. Here king to g6 was played, but the final blow, the final deadly blow here, queen to g5 with a beautiful checkmate on g6. King covering all of this, queen covering all of these, and here you are getting checkmated on this, and it happened on the board. And such a beautiful game ended in just 39 moves, just before time control could have been reached. And yeah, this is, I think, one of Hikaru's Immortal. This is one of the best games Hikaru has ever played, and I think even Tal would be proud for this game. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be coming back with games like these, so stay tuned to the channel, stay updated, because these games gets lost in the mix a lot. So just I'll be seeing you guys very soon, and thank you all for watching.